Meantime, right here at the New York Stock Exchange, we're watching another public debut. Transportation software company Via is set to make its debut this after pricing above the expected range. Joining us now in a first-on CNBC interview ahead of the first trade, Via Transportation co-founder and CEO Daniel Ramot. Daniel, nice to have you.
Thank you so much.
And congrats. We all remember, at least Sarah and I do, when you were a ride-sharing company here in the New York area, New York City, but you made a transition to basically providing software to municipalities. What is the total addressable market there that we're talking about in terms of what you can do and or what the value proposition is for these municipalities?
Thanks, Carl. Total addressable
David.
Apologies.
That's Carl.
Of course, Carl. Thanks, David. The total addressable market we believe is huge, over $500 billion globally. Just in the United States, Canada, and Western Europe, it's estimated to be about $80 billion of addressable market. So we think that there's enormous white space in providing these types of solutions to cities, to transit agencies, and helping them transform.
So what is the conversation like then when you guys are making a sales call?
It can be a long conversation, for sure. It's about transforming the way that these folks operate. A lot of times they've been operating the same way for decades. You know, change is difficult in these industries, and you're dealing with change sometimes for very sensitive populations. But the conversation is, how can we make your system run much better? Can we find buses that you're running that are empty that we can replace with technology, using technology with dynamically routed shuttles that are going to be much more efficient? Can we double, can we triple, can we quintuple your ridership with the sort of services that we provide?
Your revenues have gone up significantly. I think something along the lines of $100 million in 21 to $337 million for last year, and run rate of about $400 million this year. I mean, can you continue and or even perhaps accelerate on that kind of revenue growth?
We're hoping that given the white space, there's a very large opportunity for us in this area. We have pretty unique technology that we've developed over a decade. Started here in New York, as you mentioned, with the shuttles that we ran, collected an enormous amount of data over those years. So that data we can leverage to continue to provide value to our customers. So the question is, can we show these customers that there's real value here, that they're improving, their services are improving? And if so, I believe we can have a good result.
You must have an incredible handle on just demographic shifts around the country, right? Between rural and urban. I mean, does that lead you to certain parts of the country or cities?
That's a great point. You know, one of the partners that we work with, one of the cities we work with, which has been a really great success story, is Sioux Falls, South Dakota. And one of the reasons they've had to look for new solutions is this movement of people. The city is growing. It's a really incredible growth story. And they had a public train system that maybe served them well previously. I would argue not that well, but definitely is not that great for them now.
But what about city budgets? Aren't they all strained, and aren't they all cutting back, and aren't they all completely, you know, irresponsible and looking for ways to cut? Isn't that tough to rely on for revenue?
So I think what we're seeing is that public transit in particular is such a growth driver. We're typically not seeing public transit budgets being cut, and even if they are being cut, that's a very painful change for a city to take away a bus, to take away a paratrain service that's critical for people getting to dialysis. What we're able to offer those cities is a way, even if they have to cut their budget, to be able to continue to provide those critical services, maybe even actually increase services at a lower budget.
So it helps them.
Yeah, Daniel, thank you. And good luck to you. Of course, we saw 46 price, bid ask 47.49. We'll keep an eye on the open.
Thank you.